Hey guys, it's Fox here for Choco Chat. I was actually I did shoot a little of this in the backyard, but it was way too hot. Way too hot. It's about almost 1 o'clock, so I didn't think that it would make that much difference, but the heat of the day, it's too hot for that today. Wow. Happy March. So today is March 16th. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. So have a happy St. Patty's, you guys. I don't know if I'll wear green or not. I tend to forget. Now, this is Choco Chat, so I do have the Choco. And it was outside, and boy, it got pretty melty, even though I kept it in the refrigerator. Well, I might have to freeze them. So this is an official Choco Chat now that I've had some Choco. No milk today, I'm running low, so I'm just having H2O. I don't do coffee. I don't really do tea much either. So here's my list, my chat list. Already talked about St. Patrick's Day. The reason I was out in the yard was I was thinking about doing a music video for a song that I wrote called Beach Vamp, which is derived from one of the books I wrote called Wish of Pentacles. And so that I was thinking of doing kind of a fun split screen type of video. Beach Vamp is basically a rap song. You might have heard it, I don't know. It's on Reverb Nation. Some of you, maybe you've heard it, I don't know. But I thought it'd be fun to try that. But I wanted to film it in the backyard, but it's looking kind of raggedy out there right now. I do have somebody who mows the lawn, but I haven't found them. I don't know where they run off to. Maybe they're really busy doing everybody else's yards, but... So I got some graph paper the other day. It was just there at the store. I was surprised to find it, and I thought, whoa, so I grabbed a pack. I'm going to re-examine L7, a journal for squares. The process is rather involved, so perhaps I can use this graph paper instead of having to make my own. Right now I'm using my own, and I make the graphs, the lines, different colors. But it is a bit labor intensive. I think I'm gonna try doing just drawing on this store-bought graph paper and scanning it in, and maybe just leaving the lines its normal color. And for the parts that need to be colored in my graphic, then I'll still like erase out any lines that are showing, you know. And that'll pop the design off the background better too. So I'll have to play around with that, see what happens. Experimentation, you know, that's all you do is you just experiment. Let's see, what do I want to talk about next? Okay, latch hook, it's coming along. I posted a video recently about my color coding my lion latch hook, and I did a bit more on that. I've added some green to it. It looks quite green right now for St. Patrick's Day. And that would be Clarence. Scrapbooking, I finally got my supplies after, it took about 10 days this time. scrapbooking supplies. I was happy to receive them. I have a subscription to the Hip Kit Club, and also I ordered some utilities from Amazon, like a paper cutter and stuff like that, and I was glad to get them. So we're coming along with that. I've gotten new editing software at long last. It's Sony Vegas. I had Sony Vegas back in '06, and it's a nice program. I'm very happy to be using Sony Vegas again. This is version 13, and I think I was using, wow, 7. But you know, it's not terribly different. I see a lot of the same features and like even the same kind of wording. You know, it's like they took a lot of the stuff and they just moved it into the newer versions. So it's a mixture of old features and new features. So I was using it last time, and it's like for the first time really using it, and it's like, I remember this, and it hadn't changed a bit. So my video about Beach Vamp, I'm going to use the cookie cutter widget application, whatever they call it, but it's a special effect cookie cutter. And I tested it, and yeah, I pretty much figured out that I remember how to use it, so that's good. Because I made a couple of fun videos back around '07 using it with a couple of my characters together, which was really neat. Nana and, I think it was Nana and Rennie Mae were actually on screen together. Wow! So I want to do that again. I want to make more videos like that. They need to interact with each other. I love seeing them side by side. That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, what else? I'm saving the long topic for last. Okay, we're there. Spore! Sundays are my Spore day. Saturday night I ordered up some pizza, and I had maybe 2 slices, and the rest was saved for Sunday. And I really didn't have a lot of pizza yesterday, maybe 3 slices sort of throughout the day. I'll play for about 12 hours because that's my weekly dose. I played from about 11 a.m. to, I think it was 9 last night. And so, you know, you get up, you play for a while, and then you get up and, you know, go to the bathroom, get a bite to eat, come back, play some more, let the dog out, feed the dog, you know. So it was very kind of start and stop, but it was my focus for the day, my day's project. So I love that. It's something, I love to have something to look forward to. It's my treat, and the rest of the week I just do necessary things, and Sundays are like my, I'm gonna play. Sundays are play day. That's what I'll say. Sundays are play day. So yesterday I went to Planet Video, which is, they're all evolved now. The Wee-Law are all grown up, and let's see, who's on Lounder? Oh, Maidens, that's right. Okay. So I played with the Wee-Law in Space Stage for a while, and then I went to Lounder and played with the Maidens. And let's see, what else did I do? Oh, that's right. I created a new creature called the Mardi, M-A-R-D-I. I was thinking like Mardi Gras. They're really goofy looking. They've got these huge like antennae with like sort of like flowers on the top of them. And they're, what color did I make them? I think they're like pink and orange. So that was the Marty, and I've forgotten the name of the planet that they're on. They're in the tribal stage. So you make your own creature. Well, you first of all, you pick a planet and they say, what stage do you want to start at? So you can start at any stage. And the stages again are cell, creature, tribal, civilization, and space. Cell, creature, tribal, civilization. Yeah, and space. 5 different stages. So I didn't feel like doing cell, and I didn't feel like doing creature, because like I said in the previous video, creature is a very long game. And I really wanted to do civilization, because I just sort of like bombing those buildings. It's fun. I mean, you get your, you built your civilization, and then all the other cities on the planet, you have to dominate. You need total domination on the whole planet. So you have to somehow win over all the other cities. And you can be military species, or a religious species, or an economic species. And it depends on when you create your cell, or when you create your creature, it depends on what type of mouth you choose for your creature. There's the herbivorous mouth, there's the carnivorous mouth, and then there's an omnivorous mouth, which actually omnivores aren't a choice if you start from the cell stage, but if you start at a later stage, omnivore is an option. But, so depending, if you have an herbivore, then your species is going to be as a plant eater, therefore it's not as violent, it doesn't have a need to harm other species. So generally herbivores develop into a religious civilization. On the other hand, you have the carnivores. They have to kill to survive. So they are, of course, warlike, so they tend to become warriors, military. And then you've got kind of the in-between, the omnivore, which can do either, and they can be a bit more mellow. And I think they tend to be like scientists and stuff. So, I mean, I think they had to have the omnivores, you know, omnivores have a choice. And I can't remember, I know you could be an omnivore in the creature stage, but it's I don't know exactly. Somehow between the cell stage and the creature stage, you had access to the omnivore mouth, because as you're going up through in cell stage and creature stage, you are physically evolving, so you can change any of the features on the body. So you can change the mouth, you can change the feet, you can change the hands, the legs, how big it is, how it moves, if it's got wings or not. All that stuff is up to you. That's why it's such a fun game. But once you get out of the creature stage, you can't change any of the body parts anymore. So what I do towards the end of the creature stage, I make sure I can make mine bipedal for the tribal stage. And they definitely have to have hands so that they can hunt and fish and stuff like that. Now, a lot of them aren't bipedal. In the space stage, you see a whole bunch of the other creatures, and there's some amazing stuff out there. And a lot of them have a lot of like body armor and stuff on. It's just so funny. Oh, and the voices are so funny. They've got about maybe 5 different actors doing the voices, so you know, you hear the same voice over and over. And the creatures don't have any gender really. So your creature that you assume maybe would be female is is voiced with a male voice. And they're not speaking English, they're speaking all different types of gibberish. And the translation is, there's like a text on the screen in English saying, you know, this is what they're actually saying. So you have to read what they're saying, and as you're reading what they're saying, they're going, it's total gibberish. And it might be in a male voice or a female voice, or there's this one that sounds like a Pakistani man, and it's so funny. Just amazing. So anyway, it wasn't as much fun as I had hoped because my mouse has been giving me problems. It's like it's losing sensitivity or something. There's like, if it were, I don't know what's inside those things, if it's spring loaded or something. If it's spring loaded, then the spring is maybe losing its coil, or it's sort of like double, it would like kind of stick. Anyway, I thought I fixed it last night. I Googled it, and there's so you can go into the control panel and adjust your mouse, the speed of your mouse and stuff. So I thought I'd turn it back to slow, and that seemed to make it better for a while, but I'm not sure. I was having a hard time in Spore because when you are terraforming, you're dropping things out of your spaceship, you know, and you're beaming them down. So you have to hold the mouse for a while, and it will on the little beam and go down into the ground, and you know, slowly drop off whatever it is you're dropping off. So when you're terraforming, you get the planet to a certain temperature and environment that will support life. And so then you beam down, in this order, you have to beam down a small plant, a medium plant, a large plant, an herbivore, another herbivore, and an omnivore or carnivore. So three plants and 3 animals. So, and my mouse was like kind of like flickering. So sometimes I would send down like double plants or double animals. I mean, I just couldn't control it. Now, you have to drop down these animals gently, otherwise you're like throwing them out of the ship and they die. So that's a waste. You only get 10 animals per type, per species for all your terraforming. After that, you have to go find your own. You abduct more. But I was dropping the animals unintentionally from height because my mouse would poop out, and so I can't tell you how many I killed. I feel so bad. It's like, oops. And sometimes you can't beam them back up again because they vanished within about 10 seconds. And so you get this little note that says, information, dropping creatures from a high altitude kills them. Beam your animal down gently. It's like, I'm trying. So it was very frustrating because I think I killed my favorite creature is the Merwin wren, and I think I might have killed a Merwin wren dropping them down. Oh. Anyway, so if I can get my mouse working better, it'll be a lot more fun. I hope I might have to buy another one. Okay, that's pretty much another frustration I had in Spore. The mouse was working fine, but you have to get together enough Spore bucks, because in space you buy your own equipment, and so you earn money by going on missions or selling spice or collecting rares. So you would go to a planet and you'd find your radar would go off, and you'd follow the radar to some kind of a little glittery graphic, and it's some weird little, you know, scroll or a statue or something, and you beam it up, and then you take it over, you go over to one of the colonies, open up your communications panel, and you sell it to them, and they're usually worth maybe 45,000 Spore bucks, which is pretty good price. But if you want to colonize a planet, if the T-score is good, colony packs, the cheapest, are 97,500 Spore bucks. If you go, you have to shop around. That's the cheapest price I've ever found. Some sell them for 112,000. If you buy from your own people, they're 150,000. All your stuff from your own empire is the most expensive, so you have to shop around, which means you have to fly around. So what I'd like to do is I go on excursions and look for planets that look good for colonization. And I'll write them down. That's what I'm using my really big notebook for. I'm writing down all the planets that look good, because then, yeah, this is the one I have to write down planets I want to colonize when I have the money for a colony pack. And so I'd have this list of ones that looked really good. And in the meantime, I'd be scrounging around for rares or going on missions or doing what I could to get the money up. And then I'd finally have the money, and I'd turn around and some other empire had scooped up my planet. I mean, if I really want that planet, I could take them to war. I've done that. Somebody stole a planet right out from under me one time, and I was so ticked off, because actually it was one of my planets. It had been colonized. My empire originally colonized that planet, and then it was captured by another empire. And so I hired one of my allies to attack that empire for me, which they did, and they drove off that empire. But I didn't realize that by asking them to do it, they were going to capture my planet. So I was so ticked off, I attacked them and I got my planet back. Boy, was I mad. So anyway, this has been Fox, and thanks so much for coming over for some Choco Chat, and I'll see you around the webs. Take care, guys.